All right, good evening. Welcome to Friends of the Congo. Uh, tonight's agenda will have the culture as a weapon in the Free Congo movement. All right, so we're speaking with Brother Passy Bass from Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, on culture as a weapon in the Free Congo movement. So welcome in, Brother Passy. Uh, I said once again, my name is
Yeah,
Kito. I'm with Congo. Welcome, brother. Go ahead.
yeah, great. Greetings. Thank you for this time, this privilege. Talk about culture and heart. It's a great privilege. Thank you from the Congo. Thank you, brother Kido, and the whole team. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Thank you for being with us tonight. So, please, before we get started, please tell us a little about yourself and your journey from Bukavu to Kinshasa.
yeah. Thank you. My name is Patient Passy Gozi, as known as Passy Bass, because I'm a bass player. I'm a bass player, so bass guitar player. I'm a musician and teacher. So I started working as a revolutionary from Kamituga, where I was born. My homeland, where the rebellion from Rwandan and Ugandan rebels were fighting to take the minerals, especially gold. And this was in 1994, up to the time I moved to Bukavu. And this is the motivation of my struggle as an artist. So I started thinking as a philosopher, I started thinking about the causes of the armed conflicts, the war in Eastern Congo. And when I went in Bukavu, so I was studying, but I was much more interested in the causes of the war, especially the massacre in Kasika in 1998, where I lost my relatives, especially those from my mother. So I lost my uncles. It is worth mentioning that one of the officers that were killed in Kasika, this is the Mwenga territory. They were one of them. So there was a brother to Paul Kagame, and this is the origin of the massacre. They killed everyone in Mwenga territory, especially in Kasika. This is the motivation for me to be an artist. So I produced so many songs, and the first album, due to some financial problems and needs, I couldn't record some songs. But thanks to Friend of the Congo, I'm working on my second album. So I launched the first album na- in 2017, and at that time, so as a student, I also work on African American literature as a student of the English language and African culture. So this is in brief what I do, and I'm also a youth organizer. I've been working with young Congolese people just to raise the awareness of the situation because most Congolese people do not care. They say that there will not be any solution. They don't care. They prefer to go abroad, to go in foreign countries in order to flee from these situations. But we are the ones to change the situation, like Lumumba said. So this is me in brief. I'm an artist. I'm a teacher, uh, youth organizer. Yeah, thank
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing all that, brother. Like we say, we like to tell people, of course, from Friends of the Congo, our main goal is to support those on the ground in the Congo. And as our audience can see, Brother Passy has not only been a victim of what is taking place in the DRC, but he's been basically, I mean, he lived through it. Correct? How old were you during that first Congo War?
you. Yeah, talking about the war in Congo. I remember I was 5 years old when I well, This is my first testimony, my witness as a victim of war. I was 5 years old when I started my primary school, and I was taught by a Rwandan refugee who was teaching us in the first level, the first form. And he was killed, and I remember when the Hutu rebels came to to take him to slaughter him publicly. They were about to kill all of us, starting from the director who allowed him, who hired him as a teacher, and we people who were benefiting from his knowledge. So just an innocent uh, Tutsi. So it was a Tutsi, but he was not engaged in this conflict. You can be a Tutsi or a Hutu person, but you are not engaged in Paul Kagame or the Paul Kagame regime. So you are not engaged in these matters, in these actions against, I mean, the genocide. So this was my first experience, and for me, I grew up with this kind of trauma. So trying to find to know, to discover the reason why they were fighting for, you can imagine two armies, and the Uganda and the Rwandan armies coming to fight on the Congo soil and just to take the minerals. So this is how we grew up. Every day you could see people. We were going in the forest just to flee, to escape from death, and because they were killing people. This is my experience from that time on up to now. I experience and I have news. That's why I try to write, to request, to find solutions to this problem, and try to bring about a collective awareness and change of the situation. We need a new generation of leaders who may be like Lumumba, the people who will be committed, who will be fighting for the general interest rather than their personal individual interest like we can see today. They're embezzling in millions of dollars and billions of dollars, and no one is pursuing them. They're fleeing, they're escaping, they're going abroad. I like ministers, and they're coming back again. No one is there to just to attack them or to charge them. This is the situation. So uh, after many years, after working with organizations like Friend of the Congo and Congo Love and other movements like in Ghana, I try to understand that the cause is about the leadership and these arrangements. So that's why we need to build a new generation of leaders who are aware, who understand the reason, the causes of war, and who are well trained. They try to investigate, try to find, and try to find strategies and tactics to overcome this scourge, this plunder. So that's how I grew up, and I was looking for movements where I could express myself, where I could be sharing my ideas, because Congolese people say that. Uh, they don't need to, so there will not be any change. So you don't need to waste time to find a solution to these conflicts in this Congo. They say that we need to scramble for the country. We need to divide the country, but this will not be the solution. The more we are divided, the more they will control us. So we need to be united, like Lumumba said. You could see uh, DRC Congo in all the angles, not only considering his position like someone from the center, from the Batitela tribe, but he could fight, could work with all people. So this is not the case today. The political parties are made up with these politicians who embody their characters. So you are seeing one political party with the name of a person, but the Lumumba's party was the national movement of Congolese people, but not involving any single tribe, but all tribes were represented. So this is the motivation of my struggle as an artist, That's why you can see some songs I try to write. So like the Lumumba songs that will be released. Et si Lumumba était là, nous n'allons pas vivre ceci. Et si Lumumba était là, nous n'allons pas vivre ceci. I wanna know why Lumumba was killed, yeah, yeah, yeah. If Lumumba were there, he would have fought for the people, yeah. Et si Lumumba était là, nous n'allons pas voir ceci. So if Lumumba were there, we couldn't see the the things, these actions, this behavior that we can see from our leaders. If Lumumba were there, he would stand up and fight for the people. He would defend the interests of the people. So that's why I can see my songs, like the one I have just composed for Basanja Coalition. It is a coalition of organizations like Friends of the
Okay,
Congo, the Govan, Yole Africa, and the women, uh, the collective of women. So,
real real quick, brother. Let me. I'm gonna
yeah,
hold you up real quick, just to give the people a little breakdown, a little context that are just joining us, and you know, so like I said, once again, my name is Brother Quito, with Friends of the Congo, sitting here with Brother Passy Bass, a musician who is using culture as a weapon in the Free Congo movement. Brother Passy Bass is one of our frontline organizers, right? So as we continue on for the in this end of the year campaign and how we build and help those on the front line, your dollars, your donations, your awareness go to helping these brothers and sisters be able to express themselves and to help in the change that is taking place in the Congo. So what you're looking at here today is, Brother Passy is one of the frontline organizers who is who was working in the honor, in the light of the great Patrice Lumumba, who was assassinated uh, January 17th, 1961, by the Belgians, by the U.S. CIA. Um, but he was the prime minister, first democratically elected prime minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and his legacy still lives on in these young brothers and sisters who are organizing on the front lines of the Congo. And you can continue to show awareness, share the awareness, and continue to help these guys by donating to the end of the year campaign and freecongo.org. And I'm gonna let Brother Passy go ahead and take it away, and please allow us to hear some of your beautiful music that you've made.
yeah. Thank you. Like I was playing the Lumumba song, so next year will be the centenary. So 100. Lumumba would have been uh, 100, okay, years old. So that's why I have composed, and I'll be launching the album thanks to Friend of the Congo, which has supported me to finish all the 9 songs that uh, composed the album. And the video I'm making, I'm producing the video this month. I will finish with the Lumumba. So, et si Lumumba était là, nous n'allons pas vivre ceci. Et si Lumumba était là, nous n'allons pas voir ceci. If Lumumba was there, he would stand up and fight for the people. I wanna know why Lumumba was killed. Yeah, 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 yeah. Et si Lumumba était là, nous n'allons pas voir ceci. Eza ntango ya kobongisa Congo, koloba te mboka esi ekufa kala. I'm trying to invite Congolese people to behave like Lumumba, Congolese leaders especially, and young people, because Lumumba had my age when he stood up and fought for the independence, though they didn't give him time to just to implement his policy, his ideology, the strategies, the Pan-African strategy. So it was supported by more Pan-Africanists. So the other song is the Basanja Coalition. The Basanja Coalition is the collective, I mean the symposium of organization like Friend of the Congo. We have Gova, we have Yole Africa, we have the collective of uh, leaders, women leaders, okay? And the song is entitled Basanja Coalition. Basanja Coalition, Basanja Coalition, Yama, Apa Apa, Yama, Apa Apa, Tunawaletea leo, Abamia Basanja, ushirika wa kufanga, na yule Afrika, friend of the Congo na ye, coalition des femmes leaders pour l'environnement et le développement, Masanja coalition. So, we need to create a coalition. We need to unify to unify the forces of the masses, especially when it's about the forest, the rainforest, because Congo is a very strategic country in terms of environment and the protection, the conservation of the nature, and we also need to protect these properties, these forests, and all the people who work in the mines, for example. We need to create a kind of block of organizations that will work for the collective and I mean struggle rather than working alone. So from the south, the north, and the eastern. So the coalition, Basanja Coalition, is one of the initiatives that uh, gather local indigenous people like the Mbuti people who are oppressed, exploited, and they are marginalized. They are chased from the forest. They were living from the forest of the forest, but now they have no shelter. They have no house. So they're only begging in Goma, for example, in Kisangani, but these forests belong to their ancestors. So one of the other songs is Pa- the Palestine and Congo solidarity. Palestine et le Congo, la 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 Palestine et le Congo. So I composed this song because a Congo will be developed if other oppressed countries. So, as far as internationalism is concerned, we need to build a kind of a, a coalition not only from organizations, but also Congo should be connected to countries like Sudan, like Palestine, all these oppressed nations, and try to share experiences, to share the forces in order to fight the enemy who is exploiting, who is dominating, and try to bring about an international struggle. That's why I compose songs like the Congo Palestine. So many songs in this coming album. So in January, I will be finishing with the videos and. Thanks to friend of the Congo, which has supported me by going to studio. The studio is very expensive here in Kinshasa, for example. So when I left Bukavu, coming here in Kinshasa, so it was not easy to pay the studio. But thanks to friend of the Congo, I have finished these songs, the 90 songs, and now I'm working on the videos, the clips, and then we'll be moving on to the launch. So I will launch the album next year, and so we have a number of activities that we are working on. So I work with a collective of artists. When I go to the studio, so I work with a number of 10 artists, uh, at least, who help me record when we have some live music. I try to work with a group of artists, and some of them are singers, guitar players, and dancers, painters, and we perform some arts on public places. So we try to perform music. And I remember one of the songs is the Soweto. Soweto, mwana ya Afrika. Soweto, mwana ya Afrika. Bakoko na biso bakendaki Eropa. Bakoko na biso bakendaki Amerika. Awa totikali bana bitike yeye. Soweto, mwana ya Afrika. So this will be for the third album. So I have so many songs that I've composed, and we need to. For when I finish this second album, which is entitled Revolutionary Revolution, and so we need to teach. So I use culture and art in order to teach what I cannot teach with the as a pedagogue, someone who can teach in schools, in classes. So when you sing a song, you reach all the masses thanks to radio stations, thanks to the televisions. So that's why we use even social media. So I try to put all these things in the dream of the Congolese, the situation, what Congolese people say, inquire, and they need to to live. Okay, I try to take all these things, the realities, and put them in my songs. So that's how I compose songs, and we also I try to make some investigation and try to tell the truth, and by uh, studying the causes and the reasons. So that is the methodology. So music is a tool. So it is a methodology to teach the reality, to teach the philosophy, to teach the history of the war, and how we can come up with some leaders with strategies, and some leaders who are able, who understand the real situation, and they can bring about change. That's how I use music, and music for me is another tool of teaching. So I I sing with my students sometimes. So and this album, because here in Kinshasa you can reach all the provinces of DRC, and you can even when you sing, they play your song in some radio stations or televisions here, like Top Congo, RTNC, the national television and radio. It is easier for you to reach all these people, these social groups. So rather than in Bukavu, when you sing, no one will reach you. So that's why we need promotion, and we need advertising of the album. And after this, we'll be going with artists on the ground in order to make some public performances, and play a large concert. So that's why we are using culture. And also, when we work with a group of choreographers and dancers, we perform live music and also pre-recorded ones. So we try to use the same songs by making people repeat them and understand. And there will also be a number of activities, like a press conference where we'll be explaining these songs and by inviting masses uh, to understand the meaning of each song. So we have uh, nine, nine songs, nine titles, and among them we also have the song I dedicated to Cuba, the 26th July movement, for example.
So as you get into that, brother, I just want to first off thank you for
Yeah,
bringing this to us. Not only just tonight, but this whole being able to utilize what you love doing to help the movement
yeah,
as a whole. Because a lot of people don't understand that a free Congo leads to a free Africa, which leads to a free world, right? Congo was so important to the way society runs at this point. So to be raising awareness, to be fighting on the front lines, utilizing your talents as a musician, and then your skills as a teacher and a revolutionary. Could you go into a little bit more as well on some of the projects that you're working on that coincide with the music, but go back, but give back to the communities.
yeah. Thank you. Working with my organization, which is called RACE, the Afro Culture Network, Réseau for Culture. On the ground, like I said, when we make some community actions, we go with the collective of artists, but we also do some social actions. We provide food, clothes to street children, like we are planning by the end of this December. When we finish with the production, the video production recording, we go just on the field work to come and support them. So apart from street children, we I work with schools and students. We try to teach not only English to them, but also using English as a medium. We try to understand this English world, like how the USA happened to to develop the country, their country, how England happened to have that level. That's another methodology we are using, and we rely on some international dates like the African Child Day. We are using both music and theater. We also work with some comedians, some performers, and we try to select and even conferences. Last week we had a conference. We gathered some students in the school, the high schools, and we proposed them a theme. We created a character. We created a character of the Congolese president who is not able to defend, for example, his country in front of the UN so leaders and all these Pan African, I mean African nations. So what we are undergoing is it is because we don't have leaders who can make strong decisions. That's why we use also a the training of students on citizenship and moral civics or civic education. Those are the kinds of uh, activities. And the English club, for example, we try to bring both students and also teachers. We try to discuss on the themes about the Congo, and we have some debates on how we can which strategy to bring about the Congo. So that's how we work with the organization, apart from music and arts performance or cultural events, cultural days. So we try to use all uh, these strategies in order to mobilize the masses. So education and heart is more prior. And we also make some actions as revolutionaries and activists. We try to join with other movements. We try to rally sometimes, and we try to denounce when there is an action like the Genocost. We could gather with other activists and try to denounce, try to demonstrate about any action. We also need some grounding, okay, some grounding, and try to hear to what the people think. Because in popular education, as an artist and activist and youth organizer, mass organizer, we sometimes need to listen to the people because the solution will come from them. That's why we also make some interviews on the ground, listen to what they think about the present day, nowadays situations, and try to understand what they think about the change because the base and the superstructure should interact. Like Paul Paulo said. So this Brazilian activist and writer said, "As you are not teaching the masses only, but you are also learning from them." That's why we sometimes make some, let's say, community debates, some interviews. Try to listen to them. We are using all these strategies in order to mobilize to impact the masses, yeah, by learning from them and also bringing art and experience and science to them, try to discuss about the situation, try to explain them. And I remember this year in January, we organized a public forums and we tried to invite some speakers like Madame Bibian. They talk to the population, these people who have more experience in the history, the philosophy, the politics of the DRC, and we are working with as a go-between, so someone who can facilitate. As facilitators, we try to listen to elders who try to transfer their history, their knowledge of the history on the situation. So that's how we work. We work with conferences, forums, and teachings in schools and public debates and discussions, interviews as well, not only a hearts performing thing. Yeah.
Thank, thank you for sharing all that, brother. Appreciate that for sure. Um, you know, those of you paying attention, listening in to Brother Passy speak on culture as a weapon in the Free Congo movement. Um, you might have heard him say a couple times that Friends of the Congo has helped fund certain things, certain parts of the project to allow them to move forward with this movement. But Friends of the Congo only gets what you guys give us, right? So when we raise funds such as this end of the year campaign, these are the projects that we're funding. These are the individuals and the groups that are making changes and making difference in the Congo. So you know, there's you can check out our Instagram page, Facebook page. You see the end of the year campaign as we're raising funds for these groups to not only spread and raise awareness to the rest of those in the Congo, but the rest of those throughout the world. Because we are in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in the Democratic Republic of Congo that are looking for land sovereignty, looking to for self determination. Led by the men, by the light of Patrice Lumumba. So please, brother Passy, can you, I guess, go ahead and let us hear something else you'd like to share?
Yeah, maybe I'll be singing the other song entitled as an artist. Yeah, I composed the first song of this album is entitled uh, African Congo. In peace, we are strong. Africa, in peace, we are strong. Congolese, united, we are strong. Tolingana, tosangana. Africa, toyokana, banda ya Congo. Oh, Africa, in peace, we are strong. Congolese, united, we are strong. Tuningana tusangana Afrika yeah. Tufate mfano wa Kwame Nkrumah. Tufate mfano wa Sékou Touré. Africa here we are strong. Congolese united we are strong. So apart from that, I also composed the song titled Telema. Telema means stand up. Telema, hey, Telema, Telema, hey, hey, Telema. La la la, tulamuke, tushimame, tupiganishe njaa na ukosefu. Telema, hey, hey, Telema. Tango ye kokie, Afrika, telema tokende kuna na mboka ya ndoto. Awa tuzofande amabe. Telema, hey, telema, telema, hey, telema. So apart from telema, we have songs like the one I dedicated to Cuba, and also the COVID-19 song. Obanda mokili kobongo na ye lelo echange. Afrika, Afrika ya kwame kuma. Tobanda mokili kobongo na ye lelo echange. Afrika ye ye ye. Afrika, Afrika ye ye. Africa, yeah, yeah, COVID-19, yeah, yeah. So this song was composed when we were in under COVID-19, and so we were denouncing how these vaccines were only, you know, implemented in Congo. So the experience they had to to put it to do it on the Congolese skin because they know Ebola and even AIDS and most of these diseases. So we are there to fight back the this kind of bacterial struggle and weapon. So that's another kind of war. They don't come on only by using rebels. They also come with some disease. And thanks to COVID-19, we were denouncing how COVID-19, you know, they thought that we couldn't survive or fight it back. Now we we sometimes use some traditional medicines, and we could calm this disease. So for us, music is also a kind of let's say cure. We are teaching how the traditional medicine is helpful and can also help in solving some problems of the diseases that we are undergoing. We sometimes neglect what is traditional. And I use this instrument called kakoloba, for example. So I use that instrument in order to promote our traditional. So it is called kakoloba because I want to make a kind of fusion between some foreign music and the Congolese music and try to teach to the world that we we may also impact the world on the Congolese culture and the traditional. So the Congolese tradition has many values that we need to protect and to promote. So that's what I try. I also try to teach in my music style, combining some a bit jazz, some R&B, and the Congolese folk and traditional music styles. That's why we are how we are using, and that's how why we need to work with a collective of artists who will help in combining and joining these all these styles, music genres. Yeah, so it's a whole, it's a collective, it's a unity of talent and also secret experience from other artists with whom I work. So when we perform music, we try to bring the whole group, and Friend of the Congo is supporting me. And when I perform, to hire these instruments and to hire some halls, some places where it can be producing even the schools. In order to be in contact with these schools, we should know how to support, to help them, how to reach them. And Friend of the Congo is a great support, and and really it's a great support for us as artists and educators. Yeah, thank
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate you taking your
you.
time and giving your words and knowledge to the world, your experience. Those of you just joining, once again, my name is Kito with Friends of the Congo, and I'm sitting here with one of our frontline organizers, Brother Passy Bass, who is using culture as a weapon in the Free Congo movement. He's a musician. He's utilizing his talents and skills with his music to spread awareness and to teach the youth in the Congo as well as the youth abroad. Um, we got to listen to Brother Passy's story. So those of you just tuning in, you do yourself a favor and listen to the recording of this as you learn about how this young man started out growing up in the Congo wars and is still working to make a difference. You know, he's so close to the genocide that took place as a young child, you know, to now being a voice for the community and one of the strong freedom fighters in his area. And he's connected with those in the Basanja coalition that is spread out throughout Congo, the east of Congo, the north, the south, and the west, um, building a coalition to for a free Congo movement. And you know, as friends of the Congo, these are who we work with. These are the great men and women that we work with that are that are living it, that are putting the work in, that are putting their lives on the line to make sure that the future of Congo is bright for all the Congolese. Excuse me. So yes, and like you said, as far as being able to help and donate, you know, the funds that come to Friends of the Congo go straight directly to these organizations, these grassroots organizations, to make sure that they progress, that they grow, and and continue to help for free and changing in Congo. Um, is there anything else you'd like to mention, brother?
Yeah, I would like just to thank Friend of the Congo, and where I will be giving the program. So after this step of the video recording, so we'll be moving on to some press conferences and a number of activities just to promote the album. And I hope Friend of the Congo will be helping us so much because we're working. I just want to give the updates. So we are producing three videos: the Basanja Coalition song, Basanja Coalition, Basanja Coalition, Shamba, Apa Apa, We are producing this video, and the other video is the song we dedicated to Lumumba. Et si Lumumba était là, nous n'allons pas voir ceci. So, and we are also working on the Mwakole song is Wakole ye ye tolinga musala. Akole ye ye tolinga musala. Mwana mubandi kukamusala na yo. Mwana masi kuzana si mateya ye. Twala ya zobereza takate. Wakole ye ye tolinga musala. Wakole ye ye tolinga musala. So the song is that Mosala means work. We should work and work. We are inviting people to work. Mwakole, it's a kind of cry that they use in the village in order to encourage the farmers, the workers in the fields, the farms, and to invite them to work. And like I said, we also had the Congo Palestine song. La Palestine et le Congo. La Palestine et le Congo, Palestine et le Congo. So we are also working on so many songs, 9 songs from the album, and that's what I would like to know. So I will be sharing all these products of the album, which is entitled Revolution. Revolution. So we should teach revolution. We need revolution in Congo. We need to uh, join, you unify the masses thanks to these songs that in front of the Congo is helping us to multiply, to distribute. I'll be sharing. The other point I would like to mention is the Lumumba speeches. We have worked on the speeches of Lumumba, and we would like to share this in the national languages. It is another point I would like to mention. So we are using also the speeches of Lumumba as a weapon, and we are also working with some performers who may be embodying. So just to play the role of Lumumba by reading his speeches in Lingala, in Swahili, in Chiluba, and Kikongo, because most of these speeches were written in French, but the local people in the villages did not grasp the message. So those are the other activities that we are working on as a culture. We need to speak to our people in the national, the local languages. Those are the other strategies that we've been working on. We need more funds to multiply, to record all these things. And thanks to Friend of the Congo, I hope we will be making the mass mobilizing the masses in the coming days and next year. But that's what I would like to mention and add. So there are a lot of things to do in the community. So we don't need to work as artists will be singing for the beauty, I don't know, for heart or something like to please, that, but something that is playing a role. Music is something, heart is something that's playing a social role in the community. So that's why we would like to mention, and we need to use heart as a medium, as a way of connecting and teaching directly to the people. When you come with some literatures, people don't catch you, but when you use music, people easily understand, and that's what we are planning thanks to this album and other cultural activities, and the Lumumba speeches in national languages, and some public performances, and all these actions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Um, yes, like I said, appreciate what you're doing, and also to those of you viewing, and always showing support, always donating, always spreading awareness, always putting out the information that our social media team works so hard to develop and put out there for your learning abilities and for your viewing, so you can view and see what is taking place in the Congo and how you can be a part of it. All right, so these are one of the examples of how you can help to raise awareness, help to get in with the youth in the Congo that are making a difference. So go ahead and hit that donate button. Um, Please continue to help us build and strengthen those movements in the Congo. Um, so yeah, so brother, appreciate your time. Um, I know it's what, like almost midnight over there, right? Or it is midnight. Yeah,
Yeah, midnight. Yeah,
yeah, for sure, for sure. So we appreciate you staying up with us. Um, Appreciate you staying up with us and proud of the work that you're doing, brother Passy. Not only the work that we do that you've been speaking of, but there's also other work with the students that you've done. And real quick, how are the children responding to this movement?
yeah. Thank you. Working with children, especially street children, uh, it is worthwhile mentioning that they also have the talent. Among these street children, you can see some of them who are shoemakers. We sometimes bring them some polish and some brush, and because they use them just to create their own jobs. And what is surprising that when they are working, they are polishing, they are cleaning the shoes of passerbys, people who pass, they perform some music. And that's how we were really surprised and interested in helping them, in also integrating them in our public performances, because they encourage. And this was the inspiration of the song Mwakole that I composed. Mwakole means take courage. And I said, no, this is interesting. So these children, though they don't live in their families, they don't have any support from the government, but they most of them decide to create their own jobs. Like what I lived in Goma. In Goma, they are taught how to make shoes, but in Kinshasa, they are- they create uh, they're to clean shoes of people and they are paid for it. That's why we say now not only we'll be giving them some uh, the polish and the brushes, but we also need to supervise them to frame them in the artistic aspects. And that's why you can see in the videos, sometimes we try to sing together with them. And when you use culture as a silver, as a tool where to you are helping people, because most of these children come from the military camps. So their fathers were killed on the front line. They don't have any support. They are orphans, and that's how they're chased. After being chased in the military camps, they are sentenced. They are obliged to live in the streets where they are victims, especially street girls. They are victims of rape, raping, and sexual abuse and violences. And you see all these kinds of disease down there, and some infections and all these things. So that's how we work with street children. Most of them they they are impregnant, they have pregnancy, and sometimes they don't have means to go to hospital. And we try to talk to them because the ministry in charge of social affairs is not helping them. That's why we said no, we should integrate children. Those are the kind. This is the kind of children we work with. We also work with students, and I remember we have a program with the global reading room. We also connect children to the reading of English. They study English with other students from USA, Jamaica, Ghana, and they study not only English but also the history of Africa. So we start by studying one country in Africa and to understand the richness of these countries and all this description of this country. So these are the other. This is another kind of group of children we work with. So these are school children with whom we will try to connect with the other world, part of other parts of the world. And also we work with students from 10 to 25 years old. So to the age of 25. So we try to work with them and we bring sometimes some subjects, some debates. They try to make some composition dissertation on Africa. We also need to, we are preparing them as people who should argue, understand, try to analyze any kind of situation. We are preparing children in many levels, from the street to the avenues, the townships, up to schools, and even sometimes in the churches. You should know how to make a kind of revolutionary a gospel because we are using in the Bible, sometimes the Bible uh, scriptures in order to teach the love of the country, love of our of the people, especially stray children, because when they live in the streets, they become more aggressive, and they are changed. Psychologically speaking, we need to reintegrate them socially, psychologically, and economically. We are using these aspects of organizing and mobilization of these streets. Yeah, thank you.
Oh man, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that
Yeah.
understanding of what's taking place with the youth in Congo. So, like I said, once again, thank you for your time. Appreciate your music. Appreciate the work that you're doing. Um, and you want to leave it with a song, or you? Okay, so let
We
me
are
make
going to
sure I
say,
tell the people. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your sharing and raising awareness and your donations. This all happens because your donations. All right, we were able to help these groups. We're able to continue to help them build and grow to the point where they'll be able to self-sustain and do all this on their own. Eventually there will not be a need for Friends of the Congo because the Congo will be leading the world. So that's the work we got to continue with, and we need your help to do so. And so I'll let Brother Passy finish this off with a song, and continue to support, continue to tune in, continue to share. Thank you all.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. Shall I finish with the last one? Yeah, the song is entitled Tuungane in Swahili, Let's Unite. Kabila zote tuungane, tuichenge nchi yetu Kongo. Kabila zote tuungane, tuichenge nchi yetu Kongo. I just want to think, I just want to change, I just want to love this country. Kabila zote tuungane, tuichenge nchi yetu Kongo. Kabila zote tuungane, tuichenge nchi yetu Kongo. C'est pas le chauvinisme, c'est pas le tribalisme qui vont changer ce bon pays. C'est pas le chauvinisme, c'est pas le tribalisme qui vont changer ce bon pays. Kabila zote tunganire, tuichange nchi yetu Kongo. Oh, oh, oh. Tuichange nchi yetu Kongo. Tulingana tusangana, biso nyonso bana ya tata moko. Motema nanga ya tondi na kinga, naloba baloba oyo. Kabila zote tunganire, tuichenge nchi yetu Kongo. Kabila zote tunganire, tuichenge nchi yetu Congo. Yeah, this was Tungane, Let's Unite. I was just inviting all the tribes of Congo to unite in order to become strong. So when the enemy is coming using one tribal, let's say, armed groups, and in order to destabilize, to create conflict with another ethnic, so this is how they come and divide us. But united, we are strong, like our forefathers. They were living in harmony in their kingdoms. So that is the song. And next year, so I will be working, we'll be sharing all the songs, and we'll be producing uh, live concerts like this. So that's how we perform. So many songs that it teach the unity, love, and conscience on the situations we sing about the world, then we sing about the leadership that's need to change in our country. Yeah, Congo.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
yeah,
Appreciate all the viewers for tuning in and all your support and help. Something else you had to say, brother? Okay.
yeah. Thank you, brother. So it's been a pleasure to be invited. Great privilege. I hope the support from in front of the Congo and all partners will be very great for me because as an artist, we need to go in the studio and that's been very great. There are more steps to come in order to finish this album. The press conference, we need to release, we need to promote the songs, we need to work with the group of artists, dancers, singers, and musicians, guitar players, and so on, so on. So uh, we need really support. Thank you, friend of the Congo, for the connection and the promotion, the support of the album, and all the actions on the ground. So you, friend of the Congo, has been a great support, and in any situation that we're working on the ground, especially from my family, also not only on the organizational level, even on the family level, it has been a great support, especially this year. I said thank you because today I'm now living with my family thanks to the support of the friend of the Congo. You know, to travel in DRC is not easy. So I was living here myself, and it was difficult to live with my family is very far in Bukavu. But thanks to the support, friend of the Congo paid the ticket and everything. This has been very great for me. So as an artist now, I'm stable. I'm focused on the music production, cultural production. So if the artist is not stable, he cannot compose, cannot create music. So that's why I say thank you for the support of Stand of the Congo.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for those that donated to help make sure these things happen. All right. So we appreciate your time, brother. We appreciate your work. Thank you. You have a great night. All you viewers, thank you for tuning in. We'll be grateful if you continue to donate to help these causes. So I want to make sure you say thank you to Brother Passy Bass and all those frontline organizers in the Democratic Republic of Congo that are working for the change in the Congo. All right, y'all have a great night. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right,
Ashe.
Ashe.